Oasis Audio presents Aberration, Children of the Consortium, Book 2, by Cathy Mccrumb, read for you by Taylor Meskimen. Chapter 1. Personal Record, Designation Zeta 4542910-9545E, CTV Agamemnon, 478.2.1.08. Solitude and its companion, apprehension, wrapped around me like a drone's tendrils. Air whispered through the vent over the holding cell door, and quiet pressed through the walls to roar in my ears. Overhead, the red emergency light throbbed like the ship's visible heartbeat, and my imagination provided its sound, the faintest, gentlest click. I concentrated and uncurled my toes, pressing bare feet into the ribbed anti-static flooring, and the barely perceptible but steady rumble of the engines tickled my soles. CTV Agamemnon was not dead, whatever might have happened to her crew. For something had happened. I did not know why the ship's usual noises, conversation and the confident rhythm of people in a hurry, had been replaced by hushed footsteps and low murmurs. When trepidation had outpaced patience and I called out for food or news, no one answered, and eventually even those sounds had disappeared. Silence had been broken but once by a burst of weapons fire, and twice by faint screams, though no klaxon sounded. The emergency chemical system had not activated, so fire, collision, and piracy were improbable. Mutiny was unlikely with an elder, recorders, and their drones on board to maintain order. As members of the Consortium, we did not betray our own. Most of us would not betray our own. I had not intentionally done so. The loss of my drone on Pallas Station had been beyond my control, but my friendships, those were choices I would never rescind. Perhaps it was for the best that no one came. Starving alone in a holding cell would be preferable to spending the remainder of my life submerged in a medical stasis tank in the Hall of Reclamation. Each time raw ache or hunger overtook dread, I drank some water, then returned to my bunk. The recording device's lens no longer tracked my movements, but despite the Consortium's inattention, my uneasiness remained. Loath as I was to consider another possible explanation for Agamemnon's pervasive stillness, Julian Ross's words from 6 days ago rang through my mind. The Consortium, not the citizenry, is my target. As a disgraced recorder, an aberration, would I not be the perfect carrier for the bioweapon he had engineered on Pallas Station? But surely, Dr. Max had known. I had warned the elders. Surely they had taken precautions. Though I rarely risked a glance at the motionless camera, I paced the cell, despite low blood sugar's dizziness and the sluggishness of fatigue. 3 meters up, 3 meters down, over and over. Then, the unexpected but longed-for sound of footsteps brought my own to a halt, and muffled voices argued outside my cell. Someone knocked. I pressed my left ear against the door's cool metal. A shot tore through the panel a mere half-meter from my head, peppering slivers of metal into my neck, back, and left shoulder. I suppressed a cry and jumped away, pulse hammering painfully. The barren room had nowhere to hide, so I stepped to the middle, wiping away thin trickles of blood and tugging at my short top in a fruitless attempt to cover my abdomen. Metal screeched against metal as a crowbar drove the door into its pocket. 3 young people, perhaps 20 years of age,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?